Good morning to one and all. Today's topic is related to these different properties regarding reinforced earth. The reinforced earth is one of the stabilization technique which is useful to strengthen the soil properties. In this particular stabilization technique, this reinforced earth having an importance. Why? Because it is having a tendency to protect a slope profiles. Normally sloped profiles we have to observe, especially for the roads and bridges. In those two purposes mainly we are using this reinforced earth. Whenever we are going to this kind of roads and other bridges and some quantities of embankments, dams and retaining walls, all of those structures are having this reinforced earth utilization. For the purpose of construction of these kind of structures, by using this reinforced earth principle, majorly those structures having these basic preliminary properties. So first one is the heavy weight and strength, flexibility and simplicity. These are the four major principles and properties the structure should have. On those, first one is the heavy weight. Normally for every structure is having some quantities of dead load, so that if there is a dead load only, automatically this principle will be applicable for small quantities of structures like small buildings and other structures with less quantities of weights are not suitable for constructing this reinforced earth principle. Why? Because those structures like facing elements and these skinning elements and this tension steel, all those are embedded in the earth itself, so that the mass should be in huge amount, then only this property will be applicable. Next one is the second criteria is strength purpose. Strength means normally the huge amount of stresses are simply applicable to the structures, then only this strength will possessed by the structures. Otherwise there will be no certain quantities of stress distribution. Whenever we are going to stabilize a structure with the help of this reinforced earth principle, then the first major thing that have is strength criteria. If there is no strength, the applicable process will not works, so that whatever the materials we are using for the purpose of constructing this reinforced earth, those will have to possess a good strength purpose. And the whatever the material we are using for this purpose of filling and embankments, all those material also having some strength, then only the total structure having some stability and resistance against the shear forces and cohesion forces which were developing internally in the structure. Next one is the flexibility. Flexible means the simply movement of the structure. That means normally if there is for a huge quantity of structures which are having a huge amount of heavy weight, those structures have to be flexible. That means normally we have to observe a road. The road is having some quantities of length. After that there may be some deviations in the form of radial directions, and some of the parts were having a perpendicular cross sections, so that the material have to be flexible in different directions, then only the structure will be in our condition. Otherwise simply we are constructing the structure and it is not having a flexibility, then the total forces will be deleted and the structure will not bearing those stresses. Next one is the simplicity. The structure is not having any complex properties. This complex means whenever we have to observe a truss or any other structure having n number of columns, and structures like dams are having huge amount of radial gates and other different principles, likely different structures having different complex properties. So that according to this complex properties, the structural behavior will be changes and forces application will be in a different directions. To control those kind of force applications and the change of direction of forces, then the structure is not possible to move, that means not possible to have strengthening properties. Then we have to design the structure as easy as possible to bear all the loads, so that it will require some simplicity. Having some simplicity in those first property is the heavy weight, strength, flexibility, and simplicity economy. These things we have to discuss in today's class. First one is the heavy weight. We have to discuss about heavy weight structures. First one is the reinforced earth is a heavy material like concrete. Normally, concrete having some less quantity of density compared to a steel structure. Okay, concrete having only 25 2500 Newton per mm square, but in case of steel, it is having 7850 Newton per mm square. Compared to steel, concrete is very light materials. But compared to this soil, concrete having some more density, so that here we are preferring mostly concrete as a lining material for this reinforced earth structures. So that compared to this earth materials, this concrete having somewhat more density, so that it will possess some quantity of huge weight compared to these soil conditions. Heavy solid structures are able to resist high stresses or impact loads. That means heavy solid structures. That means solid means there may be less quantities of gaps or voids in the structures. Those kind of structures having more tendency to bear this high stresses. Normally, high stress means if there is a huge amount of material, automatically those material is able to bear those stresses. If the content of material is very low, automatically the stress, yeah, the stress distribution tendency also very less, so that we have to prefer more amount of weight, so that the stress distribution will be very high in more content of this material quantity whenever. So that impact loads are often necessary and sometimes desirable for purely architectural regions, that means reasons. First of all, impact loads. These impact loads we have to observe in some quantities of places only. In all places there is no need to go for this inclusion of this impact loads. Some of the places are having a huge amount of earthquakes and other wind loads. At those places only we need to consider these impact loads. In the remaining places we want to go for this impact loads. Why? Because if we are simply including the load, automatically there may be increment of moment, automatically shear. We need to give some extra quantity of material in the form of steel and concrete to bear those moments and shear forces, so that the total economy of the project will be changes by the inclusion of these more contents of concrete and steel. So that we need to consider some of the loads and we need to avoid some of the loads like these purely impact loads. And the second criteria is earth itself is being used in embankments. Normally embankment means a sloping area which is useful to transfer the loads in case of these highway structures like bridges and normally slopy roads, dams and highway supports, etc. Highway supports and embankments and dams, these three are the majorly we are having these embankments, dams and highway structures. And in some quantity at the starting we are having some earthwork for bridges. Those three structures having these embankments, so that we have to consider these embankments, and we need to take care while we are using different quantities of materials for the purpose of this earthwork. In the previous cases, that means in the previous years, before 1965 and 1950, there is no usage of these reinforced earth structures. In the 1965 itself, there may be first case utilization of these reinforced earth conditions, so that before they simply constructing the embankment and strengthening the embankment by using hard rocky strata as a skin of the structure, so that the skin will having a tendency to absorb those stresses. After a few days after, they will be simply give some quantity of cover on the structure with the help of lime and small scales of pozzolanas, so that the total structure will be strengthened. But nowadays simply we are using these reinforcing and earthening elements like these clear facing elements. These facing elements are completely constructed in the industry itself. Those things simply we are taking in the site and assembling on the roads and other structures. We are getting huge amount of strength, so that simply whatever we have to do means while we are transporting those structural elements for this reinforced earth, we need to take care some quantity. Otherwise those elements having a tendency to weak. Why? Because while we are transferring those elements, simply there may be some stresses induced in their bodies, so that those stresses we won't have to increase. Otherwise after fixing the element, automatically initial formation of stresses and due to addition of these load stresses, all those will act on the member, and the member will fails easily. So that we have to avoid those kind of situations in the initial stages of the fixing of those structures. And the considerable surface lands and becomes costly in populated areas. Why? Because in populated areas the total land availability will be very low, so that we have to go for these kind of structures to decrease the amount of space absorbed by covered by these normal structures. For suppose we have to observe different types of roads in a national highways. Normally the embankment road having huge amount of area compared to this reinforced earth area. Why? Because the reinforced earth area will absorb less quantity of space and huge amount of material within the place. But in case of embankments area, they will cover a large area, mostly 1.75 to 2 times the normal area required. So that we have to go for these reinforcing earth structures. Next one, reinforced earth has basically some qualities, but their vertical facings such as structures reduce the amount of earth movement and the right of the way necessary. We have to consider those things. Those are simply the vertical facings such as structures. Vertical facings means simply these facing elements what we are providing on the road structure. Those things we have to take care. And amount of earth movement and the right of way is necessary. That amount of earth movement and right of way, those two things also we need to consider. These are the total components we have to focus on this weight. That means in the weight itself we are having these three different components. Those three different components we have to observe and utilize in a proper way. Next major phenomena in these properties are strength. Strength means unlike the earth alone, it means unlike the earth alone, reinforced earth can be calculated to resist almost any pressure. Normally earth is having some quantity of tendency to bear the stresses, but here we are using reinforced earth. In the reinforced earth also we are having some quantity of huge strength bearing capacity, so that reinforced earth can be calculated to resist almost any pressure, whatever the load and whatever the structure, whatever the forces applying on the members, all those will be buried by this reinforced structure. Because of the particles constituting the mass usually have a high crushing resistance. Crushing resistance means here simply a compressive strength which was acting on the structure. Those compressive strength will be very high in case of these reinforced earth structures. Those are also buried by these members whenever we are applying the load. And the reinforcing strips can be placed inside the mass to resist the external conditions. That means internally there may be some formation of this bond between the particles and reinforcement whenever there is a load application from the external body. Those loads also be beared by the these internal steel elements. Those things we have to observe with the help of these figures. Here, in between the trees, we are having a facing element. Normally, those facing element is fixed for the purpose of controlling this sliding of rocks from the hard rock bed in a hilly areas. Normally in the hilly areas, due to this sedimentation process, day by day there may be some strengthening, that means the strength of the rock will be losing, so that a small sliding forces will be developed on the rock particles, and those will cause a huge amount of damage to the uh, stru- ro- damage to the roads which are constructing on these hilly areas. So that to prevent those kind of accidents and obstructions, we have to go for these facing elements for the areas, so that in the particular structure there may be some internal forces developing on the earth material, that means facing elements. Moreoverly, likely internal material, internal stresses, and from the external forces also whenever there is a huge amount of wind load on these hilly areas. Why? Because hills have to bear huge amount of wind loads. Those will act as a obstruction for the flow of wind, so that there may be some quantity of external load in the form of wind also applying on the structure. Those also simply have to bear by these reinforcing earth elements. This is the best example for that purpose of load bearing and strength criteria. Next one is the flexibility. The mass constituting reinforced earth being essentially granular in nature. That means granular means whenever we are going to construct these reinforced earth structures with the help of the soil. Normally the reinforced earth having some facing elements and this internal steel. In addition to those two, we have to fill some quantities of surrounding element, that means surrounding available soil. Those soil must be this granular soil. Here they were telling is simply essentially they need some granular soils. So those granular soils will have a tendency to bond between the steel and these normal elements. The deformations of this supporting foundation do not produce fissures or breaks as would be the case with concrete. So that the supporting foundation do not produce means it will not allow, that means it will not having an action on these conditions like breakings and case with concrete. That means breaking means if there is a huge amount of forces application on the applying on the structure, so that definitely if the forces are beyond the stress levels there may be some breakage. To control those kind of breakages we have to go for extra strengthening materials in those particular areas, so that we need some flexibility such that if there is a application of huge amount of load, so that the material will have to deform, and after that the material will have a tendency to recollect in their original positions. That things we are having as discussing as a flexibility. In fact, any of infinite number of fissures or cracks exist in the mass and movements of the ground causes these fissures to move. It means in some of the areas we are having a small vibrations or some quantities of settlements coming onto the structure. So due to those also there may be some crack formation, and these settlement or shrinking of total soil will takes place. We need to arrest those kind of settlements by simply pre-mine techniques. That means in the before construction of the structure, we have to assess what is the ground conditions, what is the earthquake intensity, and how much number of earthquakes have come in the previous 5 years or 10 years. Those data we have to collect and we need to do some analysis. After that, we have to go for this flexibility design. In the ground cause more fissures to move. That means whenever this kind of forces applying on the structure, definitely there may be more movements takes place in the structures due to this settlement process. So that we have to go for this estimation of these earthquake forces and previous year settlements. Those will lead to construct a good quantity of strength structures. And in the particles slide along the reinforcing elements to achieve another state of equilibrium conditions. That means whenever these forces are acting on the structure, automatically the particles having some internal adjustment with the steel which is provided for connecting these facing elements, so that there may be some another state of equilibrium which results another stress distribution in these elements. That means due to these external forces of application of these movements, automatically internally there may be change occurred in the material. Those change also leads to some quantity of additional stress development. As long as the reinforcing elements are calculated to withstand these new loads, the whole structure remains stable. That means whenever the reinforcement which is arranged internally in the structure, that is suitable, that means that is having a tendency to absorb the stresses. If the total reinforcement is completely in working, automatically those stresses will be nullified by the internal arrangement of these stresses in the steel. Otherwise, we have to face some quantity of settlements in the form of vertical direction. This phenomena of plasticity with a large deformation prior to the rupture is an essential quantity of every building materials. So that the phenomena we have to observe, so that we are choosing before going to construction, we have to choose the materials which are used for the construction, so that those materials are able to absorb those stresses, or is there any fractures coming by using those materials, we have to assess. So that after that the assessing is over, we have to go for construction work. Next thing is properly designed reinforced earth can possess this quality of high degree resistance to earthquakes should be important. Properly designed reinforced earth can possess this quality to such high degree of resistance. That means whenever we are estimating these earthquake forces on the structure, automatically due to those designed forces, the total earthquake resistance structure will possess huge amount of stresses on for bearing capacities, so that there will be some huge amount of internal resistance will be developed in the form of earthquake analysis. Naturally, stability to external forces induced by earthquakes should be considered, but reinforcement earth should be more economically favorable than the conventional materials, because the necessity for a large horizontal base and inside dimensioning. Naturally, stability means whenever we are applying a force, the material having no deformation, it will withstand all those forces. The tendency we are calling as a stability. Here the stability is obtained by bearing some quantities of external forces on likely earthquake forces which are acting on the structure, so that those forces we need to consider, and we have to go for some prior lab tests, so that those lab tests having a good number of values, so that we have to use those conditions by simply conducting some prior conditions. But the reinforced earth should more be economically. That means whenever we are using all those conditions, automatically the structure have to be bear huge amount of economy. to produce all those kinds of elements and materials. So that we have to decrease some quantity by simply using a different alloys and other conditions in case of steel, and different types of admixtures in the form of soil conditions. Next one is the simplicity. That means the constructing, whenever we are going for constructing a structure, the structure have been very simple for understanding and implementation. Why? Because if the structure is too complex, then the forces acting also very high. Automatically there may be some tendency of stress distribution will be very low due to this rapid amount of flexibility, that means rapid amount of confusion in the elements. First of all, the building reinforcing earth structures are very simple and fast. Why? Because simply we are placing the facing elements. After that, step by step, we are fixing each facing element. After that, we are compacting. There is only two processes. First one, we are fixing the facing elements. After that, we are simply compacting a layer by layer, layer by layer, layer by layer. Simply we are doing, so that it is very easy work. There is no need to wait for a 28 days for curing period and other conditions. Simply we have to consolidate the structure and fix the facing elements. Then the structural construction will be very fast compared to other modes of construction, other modes of designings and structures. There is no time factor for settlement and compacting is necessary only when the desired limit of vertical settlement, so that there is no need to wait for a large scale of time. Only simply we have to wait for a small settlement takes place. After that, we have to go for another layer. After that, we have to go for another layer, so that it will be very easy to construct and easy to demolish when it is desired to limit a vertical settlement. That means simply we have to wait for a small quantity of settlement after the compaction, then we have to go for another layer. Skin elements come in a standard lengths are necessary but easy to handle, and no heavy equipment is necessary. That means whenever we are going to construct a steel structure or any bridge, so that we have to go for construction of prior elements. Those prior elements having some huge amount of weights, and we have to go for a lifting mechanism and placing mechanism and fixing mechanism, lifting, placing and fixing. But in case of these reinforced earth structures, there is no condition. Simply we have to arrange the facing elements and compaction. Those two things will be taken care in a minutes of time and hours of time only, so that there is no handling stresses will be developed while we are taking this construction process. Simply we have to mind that principle. There will be less quantities of handling stresses developed on the structures. No special skills are required either conditions. That means simply we have to knowledge on fixing only. There is no extracurricular skills we have to require. Last one is the economy. Economy means because of this relative simplicity, the economy achieved in compression with the concrete is great. That means simplicity means whenever we are designing a structure, automatically those structures having very simple design principles, so that there will be some less quantity of materials we have to utilize, and less amount of time we have to spend, so that we have to achieve a good economy. The comparison with the concrete is very great. That means whenever we have to compare these reinforced earth structures with the concrete structures. Our reinforced earth structure having some more less quantity of money compared to these concrete structures. Why? Because in the concrete structures we have to go for this reinforcement, fixing, placing, curing, and this bar bending schedule, and workmanship is required, and scaffolding is required. All those conditions will lead to a huge amount of economy. But here what we are doing is simply placing the skin elements and fixing these uh, tie, steel rods to the facing elements, and simply compacting. These are the three processes involved in this reinforced earth, so that it is very much economical compared to this RCC structure. Next one is the forces inside the mass of a structure are resisted by these reinforcing elements placed according to the calculations, so that the direction required for the external forces. Here what we have doing is simply we have to estimate what are the forces acting on the structure, in which direction the force will be very high, on which direction there will be huge amount of stresses developing. According to those formation of these weights and stresses, we have to go for designing the steel for bonding. In those conditions only we have to use the steel. In extra no extra steel we have to provide. Why? Because simply it is a waste of money. Concrete construction, it requires a cement in all directions, but in case of this reinforcing earth structures, only we need for cement for the facing elements only. All the remaining structures will be earth materials and a granular soil, making for expensive and wasteful use of cohesive forces. That means making for an expensive and wasteful use of cohesive forces, so that whenever we are designing a concrete structure for the bearing of forces, it will be simply a money waste and time waste and very expensive, means in the form of economy purpose it is very expensive in nature, so that we won't have to go for these concrete structures whenever we are going to design a structure like dams, embankments and these retaining walls. Next one is the advantages of the reinforced earth structures compared to RCC structures. In French highway experience, the reinforced earth structures are cost approximately half what concrete structures could have cost for comparable uses. Why? Because this is the technology mostly used in the foreign countries. That means in 1965, first reinforced earth structure was built in French country. That means in the French itself, they are doing this experiment, and they are simply comparing what is the normal cost for a construction purpose with the help of this reinforced concrete, and what is the cost they have experienced for the purpose of constructing this reinforced earth. By comparing those two conditions, simply what they get is the reinforced earth is half of the cost of this normal RCC structure, so that simply they are saving half of the money for a structure like this reinforced earth. Next one, they are also less costly than the other types of retaining walls that could be, have been used. Normally, retaining walls also we are using, you know, hilly areas, so that whenever we are going to construct a retaining wall, the total retaining wall is involved with a huge amount of concrete and steel, but there is no filling of granular soils and fixing of these facing elements. When compared to these two structures also, that means reinforced earth structure and these retaining wall structures, here also the cost of the construction is half compared to this retaining walls to reinforced earth structure. Previously we are comparing this reinforced earth to this concrete structure. Here also we are having half of the cost. In the second condition we are simply discussing the structural weight, that means the structure cost with normal retaining wall. Here also we are getting half of the cost, so that it will be a very cheap to construct. There is no height limit for the structures made with this reinforced earth principle. Why? Because of, if you are constructing a structure, automatically we have to mind what is the height of the structure. For that particular height, how much amount of reinforcement we have to utilize, what is the strength of the column we are getting, what is the dimensions we have to maintain, and other different conditions we have to observe whenever we are doing these RCC constructions. But in case of these reinforcing earth constructions, there is no proper height limitations. Why? Because simply the total earth materials we are compacting, and on the outer direction we are using these facing elements, so that there is no need to use these height proportions. principles and indeed of economic advantage increases with the height. Means some quantities of advantage by using these height principles. Next one, with these interesting characteristics, the reinforced earth principle can be expected to be used extensively in construction all over the world. So that whenever we are observing these kind of advantages comparing to other modes of structures like RCC structure and these retaining walls, definitely we have to prefer this reinforced earth. Why? Because it is having a huge amount of stability, and it will absorb a huge amount of waste materials. That means thermal wastes and industrial wastes as a filling material. So there is simply we are using a solid waste management. Those things we have to implement here. Why? Because whenever we are going for a high rise embankments, automatically in those particular embankments we have to go for this waste material utilization for the purpose of height. And simply due to those extensive activities all over the world, this principle was simply implementing with a number of rising the structures, filling a place between the large heavy earth or concrete gravity blocks. Ultra elaborate reinforced or pre-stressed concrete structures. That means in the place of this usage of high cost materials like heavy earth concrete gravity works, these are also leads to a huge amount of concrete waste. Normally concrete we are using means automatically we are polluting the atmosphere and environment. While we have to manufacture a certain quantity of concrete, automatically there may be some usage of materials like lime and silica and these metal materials and minerals, and automatically we have to consume some quantity of coal also. Due to this enlargement usage of those materials, there will be some damage to the environment. While we are using these reinforced earth principles, there is no damage to the earth in the form of environmental impacts or any other structural conditions. Simply we have to apply these conditions. And there is a pre-stressed structures also nowadays we are using. In those places also we need to implement these reinforcing earth principles. Those are also leads to a good quantities of results with better economic conditions. Finally, it should be pointed out that the reinforcing earth principles and its applications are patented in the United States and most other countries. So that different principles are simply implementing to these reinforcing earth conditions, and they are getting a good quantities of patents in United States. That means United States of America and other elaborated countries are researching on this particular reinforcing earth topic, and they are getting patents to their topics. Next one, what are the different constructions of these reinforcing earth structures? How they have to go for construction? In actual construction, the reinforcing earth structures are composed of earth materials in the middle of the structure, and reinforcing elements also involved in this middle of structure between these earth quantities, and the form of strips disposed in the horizontal layers. Those are simply these reinforcing elements. In these layers, the strips are set up at a certain quantities of intervals. That means intervals means normally whenever we are constructing a beam or column, we have to provide stirrups and times at a regular intervals to bear these shear forces and these buckling forces. Likely here also we are simply placing these reinforcing tendons in a different directions with a proper gaps between those to bear those kind of stresses and formation of this huge amount of strength purpose. On the facing of the structure, certain type of boundary or skin is required. The retaining of the earth particles are not contact with these reinforcing strips. That means facing of the structure. The total facing we are using these elements which are constructed with these concrete blocks at a certain types of boundary of the skin. That means we won't have to use a single piece of these skin elements. We have to go for different designs for a better economy positions. We have to choose different design purposes. It required to retain the earth particles are not contact, they are simply reinforcing stirrups. Okay, I will explain next topics in a next class.